Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And Freeland has the treasurer's report for us.
There's a few scattered around. I'm reporting, well, first off, the Communities Foundation of Oklahoma has initiated a new email account. I have and Brenda should have a password so that we can get in and look at our account at any time. It used to only come out like once a quarter, they'd mail it. Pardon me, so I'm having a little trouble with that. I did get us signed in, and I was trying to figure out how I could copy that and provide it to all the members, and I guess I'll still continue to work on that. On the first page, though, in that account, at the present time, the balance is $41,495.49, and we have another couple of accounts at the bank. One of them is what we call, or what I call, the Old Prison Chapel Fund, which comes back from a bank account that we've had since the beginning. That account has $43.93 in it. Someday we'll close that one out. And when the distribution is made on a yearly basis, we're required to take 5% of that community foundations in the form of a grant, and it did come to us in October of 2016. In that account, though, including that distribution, we have $3,193.30. So there's 3 different accounts that I deal with. Would like to make it only 2 because one of them has such a small amount that we could probably spend it in maybe on some of your projects.
Okay.
It's $43, so.
I'll come up with a plan.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That's why we have such a great turnout over here. They are.
Might be some truth to that.
Well, yes, there is, and I'm good with it. Looking over the last minutes of our regular meeting back in November, there's been a lot of changes. New warden, new deputy warden, new chief, Mark Hawkins. He was promoted in February, is that right?
Yes.
February, so a lot of big changes. I went over, deputy warden, had an opportunity to be a deputy warden over at Crabtree. I was over there for about 5 months, give or take. Had more fun than I was having a good time. Got a lot of good experience. Worked with a lot of new staff. Expanded my horizons a little bit. Then was given an opportunity to come back here, and I did jump on it just because this is home to me. So, but the warden is out. She's not feeling very good at all because she would be here if she could. So, hold tight. I'll give you what I got, which ain't much. So it's going to be a good quick one. Got a site count of 535 inmates here at Bill Johnson. We have 63 empty beds with 37 of those 63 over on the GP unit, on Unit 4. So I'm going to give Mr. Holder an opportunity to talk about statewide population here in just a second. But hopefully what we're hoping is there's a IRF that's inmate. It's fairly new option for judges and DAs to sentence people with. It's a 6-month flat sentence. So, but what the problem with that is the management of those inmates, because it does not matter whether they do everything, whether they're compliant or non-compliant. 6 months, they just go home. It does not matter how they do in the care and custody of the department. So we are working on that. We're in the process of developing an RF program over on Unit 4. So hopefully all the IRS will come to us. We got 3 new case managers to put on classes for that. Warden Guffey and Angela Allison have the opportunity to present the ideas for better accountability. They go to the DA Council meeting the 19th of July and the Judicial Council meeting on the 21st of July. That way the department has the ability to kind of throw in some ideas on better accountability of these guys. So we'll see how that works out. Todd, you want to talk about statewide population and what you see, and can we give you a time limit? Or?
Well, I can speak a little bit about it. I'm Todd Holder, and I'm proud to serve as Secretary of the Board of Corrections for the state of Oklahoma. So, the Board of Corrections is about 68% of its funding, right? So 68% is what we get of the funds that are actually needed, and we're, at last time I checked, we're 104 to 108% of capacity statewide, and that's rising rapidly. The new director, Dr. Joe Alva, has been very vigilant at trying to decrease population at BJCC and increase programming space at BJCC. BJCC is a shining star, a shining monument in the state of Oklahoma as far as correctional facilities is concerned. I've told you that before, and it's very, very true. As I tour the state, going into other facilities, it's amazing how we're leaps and bounds ahead of most people. Now, there's several reasons for that, because we get the people that are fixable, right, for the most part, and we're providing that opportunity. Except when it's like a cattle chute running them through, because we're moving them through at such a rapid pace. And we've had many discussions about that. They're trying to get that programming increased and trying to get that slowed down so that when those boys go home, they get to stay home and they don't get to revisit us again. And so that's what's happening there. As far as budget's concerned, our budget was held fairly steady, which was amazing based on the state of the state, and the fact that Dr. Paikey, I'm sure, would love to have been fully funded, and they're not. Many other agencies are not. Here's the facts of the matter. The Department of Corrections is growing by 15+% every year with inmates. We are incarcerating more people than we can deal with on a statewide basis. And at some point in time, there has to be a line drawn in the sand, because we have an open door and an absolute closed door, and you cannot continue at that rate and this pace without increasing funding for the state of Oklahoma. It's just elementary. Our facilities are antiquated for the most part. This is again one of the most shining examples that we've got in Department of Corrections. There are many of them that are completely antiquated and need to either be severely upgraded or closed. And we have at least one facility at Sarah that you all are aware of, and it is about 3/4 of the way full at this point, but it takes a long time to staff people and then to get them the facility full again. So we're in dire straits of trying to figure out what to do for funding and how to figure out how to go that. The justice reform that you all heard about or talked about that's been in the news is pretty much dead on arrival. It hasn't been funded. It hasn't been looked upon. So we're really excited about the new program. It's an opportunity for us to work with the DA Council to show what we can do and to make some positive strides. I know that Director Alva is very anxious to get that done. So count your lucky stars at BJCC that we're not overrun with population, because you certainly could be. But it is purposely done to decrease inmates here and increase programming so that we could be far more productive with the inmates that are here, because we have other facilities that are bursting at the seams. The county jail backups is unbelievable states. I'm sure you see those population numbers on a weekly basis, and they're bursting at the seams because we don't know where to put people, and we have no facilities to put them in. And again, if we keep increasing at the rate that we are incarcerating people, we're going to grow and grow to the point that we're going to be in bad situations. So hopefully we can find some ways to get some money in to build some facilities or figure out how to depopulate them. Questions?
You have a question? You mentioned the
I
program.
may not be able to answer, but
You mentioned the program at Bill Johnson. You said they're trying to lengthen the program?
no, well, we're trying to make sure that when the graduates go through, if we can slow the process down instead of accelerate the process to move them through on a more rapid basis, if we can slow it down a little bit so that the kids can get more education than what they've got instead of pushing them through so rapidly. We've had to increase the rate of which the throughput, right, because of the number of people that you have to get through the program. The hopes is that we can offer more of those programs through Career Tech or other places to try to make sure that when they walk out of your facility, they have some place to go, some stable environment, and some skill set so that they won't look for what got them here in the first place. Thanks. Be proud of what you got here. The people that sit in this room, this advisory committee, every other facility in the state would love to have. You have no idea. You've heard me get on this soapbox before, but it is so true. The people in Northwest Oklahoma understand what it is to bring a facility in and then care about it. Be proud of what you got. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the RF also. I think what we'll see after Warden Guffey and Angela Allison get through talking to the DAs and the Judiciary Council, I think you will see an influx of RFs come in, and we will probably fill Unifor up. I don't doubt that a bit. Hopefully they work with us to put a little teeth to how we can manage them. Talking about population again, Cape Bernard CCC, community corrections right there next to headquarters. Well, we moved all the male prisoners from OKCCC to OSR, and that's all been completed there. So they're moving the female community eligible inmates to OKCCC, and in order to get the 160 female inmates backed up in county jails, now we're making Cape Bernard minimum yard. So kind of a shell game, but it's a shell game that we have to do right now. So
We incarcerate more women than any other state in the nation.
yes, yes it is. PPWP contracts. I know Mr. Becky and Joe Don, they've been in. We've been talking to them. Got a new policy. It's effective on the 19th. Kind of deals with the monthly fee for supplying inmates for the agencies, the contracting agencies that use our inmates. It's statewide now. They had to do something because some people wasn't charging anything. Some people was charging way too much, so they just made it a flat line, $120 per month per inmate. And that has a long-reaching effect on us and the agencies that used to take inmates. You know, because used to, Alva City can come pick up, there's 12 inmates there, and they can take out 12 inmates. Because of our population goes through and the eligible inmates that we turn out, because we do not want to turn out every inmate we have here. It is not a good idea. So we kind of not. We screen through them pretty good and just turn out the people that we trust out there in our community. So Joe Don, I know last contract was 25 inmates. We're not going to be able to do 25 inmates. On average, we turn out 30 to 35 a day on PPWP crews. So we have about 8 of them. Now we're going to have to divvy them up on what we can guarantee they can take out every day. So it is going to affect us. It's going to affect us and the contracting agencies. So, any questions on the new PPWP contract or policy?
Do you know when the contracts are going to be ready?
I think they come out with that new policy, so they'll be sent out on the 19th, I do believe.
There were a couple of things that they were working on as far as
we was wanting to check on, seeing if we could do a dual contract, like a summer and a winter contract.
That and there were a couple of things. One other thing was like, we all know that there are days that y'all have to lay in and don't let anybody out, and if whether or not we were still going to be held responsible for the payment on those days.
I think that'd just be something we have to do right there, because I know, on days where facility shakedown,
Yeah.
we'll just have to shake those inmates down first and get them to the gate. That's what we'll have to do, because we got to uphold our half.
Okay.
So
One of the other things that was kind of pointed out, and I guess I had never had a chance to visit with anybody about it, is that there have been occasions, I guess, that inmates get held up at the gate. For one reason or another, they didn't meet the rules that y'all have, didn't shave that day, or whatever, didn't meet the criteria, so they got held out. How is that going to be handled? Will that be handled differently?
to a certain extent, they might have to come. They might just have to come to the gate earlier, and if they need to shave, they can go back to the house real quick and shave.
Go shave and
They have to meet our expectations. They have to be compliant. Either that, or if they're not compliant, they shouldn't be going out anyway.
And I understand that. And I'm not arguing that.
Right.
There was just some.
Yeah,
Things
because
that-
there are some days where they're not properly dressed. They got
Yeah.
blue jeans on, and we don't let them out in blue jeans. So
Yeah, and I
tennis
understand
shoes
that.
or something like that. So there's going to be some growing pains. So
Yeah.
Do you think the dual contract probably won't happen?
I do not see it happening, but I don't want to go on record on that because it could. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
We're still waiting on a response from legal.
Sure.
So I can see benefits to it, but I don't think that's what they want
Sure.
to do statewide. So, but with our populations, they might let us have an exception. But
Maybe giving you a call.
I wouldn't bet on it. But anyway, we can work on it because
I understand.
it is beneficial to everybody, us and the agencies. So, the shingles for the chapel. We're waiting on it. We took delivery of the shingles, and right now, if you walk outside, you'll know why we ain't putting them on yet. We're waiting on a good day to get up there on top of the roof and repair what needs repaired. So, other than that, the other agenda item is pack the park. I'd like to cover that, but I didn't go. I was fishing, so I'm gonna let Miss Renee talk about that because she was there.
Warden Guffey just wanted it mentioned she had more fun than the kids, and I think the drug dogs had more fun than she did. The agency is focusing, they've got some new faces and some new energy in the communications department, and they have come out working very hard to help show positive image of the agency, and they've extended the opportunity for the individual facilities to please communicate and convey the good things that are happening. And the one event that we did have to be of a wonderful community event was Pack the Park. We were invited to go, and Becky was able to get some of the canines to come, Cindy and Copper. I believed that they were both bloodhounds and trackers, but Copper is a tracker, and Cindy, she's more.
Malawal.
And so these two dogs pull up. I'm thinking that they're drug dogs, so they've got to be separated. So I get to the park early, and I have this really huge space reserved. People are coming up, and I'm giving them the mean look. Go, no, move on, move on. These dogs can't have contact. They might get in a fight. We got children. This. Why did I sign up for this? And so pretty soon Becky shows up, and we've got the fun tents, and we had all kinds of fun stuff to hand out. We decided we had to have a coloring contest, and then the dogs show up. The officers pull up, and of course they have them both in the back of one pickup. And they get them both out, and they come on over, and Cindy, the one that's supposed to be the scary one, you scratch the top of her head, and she immediately goes like that. She wants you to scratch your belly. I'm like, oh, I like this. Of course, don't pet her at work. But and then they bring the bloodhound, Copper, and he, of course, plows in, looking for the kids immediately. And he did great until Cindy got a little too far away, and then he started, "Ow, whoa, whoa." The kids had the biggest kick out of that because they could hear that dog in the entire vicinity of that park. I don't care where you were standing. By the Boss music, you could still hear a copper. So the kids came up, they had a blast. That wasn't quite enough. So these officers took these dogs, and we had little dog chains to hand out to all the kids, and it said positively drug-free. So they're walking around, and the kids are jumping on these on the dogs, and the dogs are looking at the kids. And then I noticed they had the train. I don't know who owns that train, but it's cute. And you can put like 8 little kids in that train. And the officer's walking with the dog. And the train stops because the kids want to see the dog. Hopper walks up to the first child in the first train. From chin to forehead, kiss. Walks to the next kid, kiss, 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 all the way to the end of that train. And like I said, that they had a wonderful time. We handed out probably 350 of the little dog tags, and it was a great opportunity for our staff to help out with a fun activity. And now the problem is to make sure kids don't run up in the facilities and want to pet the dogs, but in a facility environment it's a little more structured. But those dogs absolutely had a blast. So the officers that were involved judged the coloring contest very seriously, and were able to award some prizes at the end of the day. But it was a great thing. So Becky's very big on community activity. The other day in conversation, she had kind of inquired about other things that we could do to participate, because it's absolutely a blast. Well, which leads me to the last thing that I would like to mention real quick, the Gap. We had some staff shortages, and it slowed down a lot of our productivity, but that does not end the demands out there. We had a pretty good supply of things. We've sold them, and I accepted the football team, Woodward's football team, had an exceptionally large amount of kids that could not afford to go to their football camp. So we accepted the opportunity to help them. So we'll be sending them $500. I think that the money should stay in Alva, though it's okay to help other communities, but we haven't received any inquiries as far as fundraising. So if any of you know of some little organizations for our youth out there, or even elderly, let us know, because there's nothing we love more than a challenge. So with that being said, back to you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm pretty much done with my agenda.
All right.
Well,
Brenda, back to you.
Yep.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything? Any questions? Yes.
Brenda, by the way, the advisory board was the group that bought the shingles for the roof area, kind of on an emergency basis. It's not that we feel like that we should be doing all the maintenance, since the chapel was built and turned over to the state. So there's but in the case of something like this, we thought it needed to be done. Otherwise, we're going to have a big problem.
Being a worse deal, yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
That was a prison chapel fund, wasn't it?
Yes. Prison.
Yeah. I think it was listed on the
Yes.
report as a purchase.
Yes.
So, okay, if there's no other, sorry.
I was just going to brag on the prison help, because I'm involved with the Senior Citizen Center, I'm involved with the cemetery, and both those organizations would not function without that inmate help.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, I think we're adjourned.